welcome to Red Sports. You will be thinking, why are we doing this live from indoors? It's because just before we started the live, there was, it's pouring cats and dogs out there. If you can send the video to Neil, maybe Neil can just put it and show how badly it's raining. So that's why we were trying to, we have a balcony. From there, when we are at home, from there we generally do the live. But when we were standing in the balcony, we were only getting drenched. So we thought it's better we come live from here. Well, there's lots to discuss. Of course, start with the openers. There you go. I think Neil is showing, of course, raindrops aren't visible per se, but then it's raining very, very badly. Clouds are there, black clouds. Snehashish, what do you think? I mean, how do you think the optional practice session will go for India?
See, what we experienced in the last optional practice, I think rain is common.
Rain is common, yes.
Rain is common, and that day only two people
And see
came.
how there's loud thunder of,
So, so that day only two people came. Today we expected at least 4 or 5 will come, but now with this rain, if this continues, I think it will be difficult to see that many people also. Even it might possible that nobody comes.
It might be possible that no, I think Arundhati Reddy will come. Whoever
She's
comes,
determined.
she's truly determined to do something in life, which is perfectly great. So we'll continue. We will actually go to the discussion. That's the main. What exactly are you doing?
I'm saying the caption.
In the live? So we were saying yesterday, of course, Smriti Mandhana did have a long net session, which she has been having. There's no change in that part. Laura Wolvaardt played a match day before yesterday, has come and will be playing a match tomorrow. Today, actually, if any practice session is going to be affected, it is probably more the South African practice session than the Indian practice session.
Yes, absolutely. Because India had a full practice session yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? All the players that are going to be, playing even. I know that Harmanpreet Kaur and Jemima Rodriguez were not there.
Maybe Jemima will not be part of the playing 11.
Yes, I think that is why we were so eager to see whether she will come today or not for the official practice session. But right now it's looking very difficult. But let's see. But for South Africa, I think it will be setback, I would say, because then first of all they traveled, and yesterday that is why they couldn't practice. Understandable. Yes, today the only chance for them to get some practice under the lights, that is also.
Yes.
So if this weather stays, their practice session if gets hampered, I think that will be a huge blow for them, because you have to go through your drills or some practice ahead of a clash against India, because as we mentioned that India, South Africa, England, New Zealand and Australia, these are the 5 teams that one of favorites to win the World Cup, right? But so these matches everyone is looking forward how these teams will perform against each other. So I think South Africa India is a big clash of this World Cup. So first of all, we don't want rain to happen on a match day tomorrow. But again, I think in terms of preparation, if this rain hampers South Africa's preparation in terms of practice session and all, I think that will be a blow for them psychologically at least.
Absolutely. I think players like Manzane Cap, Laura Wolvaardt, and of course Smriti Mandhana also. These are the kind of players who are absolutely firm believers of having that preparation, that practice. I think Harman over the years has shown that, I'm not saying she doesn't practice, but then before the match, she's not someone who practices a lot. Whatever works for a player, of course. Also, we are just going by a little bit of a pattern. In Colombo, Amanjot Kaur and Sneh Rana both did not practice in any of the 2 days, and one of them played. The other one did not. Here also, if Harmanpreet and Jemima does not turn up today, then the assumption, of course, that we will do is, one of them will play, which is Harman. She's the captain. Jemmy probably will be dropped for a 6th bowler. But I don't know. I mean, to be very honest, I do think that it's Sneh Rana who's going to be dropped, and Aman Jyot is going to come in place, because you already have a off spinner and a wicket taking off spinner at that, in Deepti Sharma. But let's first discuss this topic. Smriti Mandhana, from after 2022 World Cup to before the start of this World Cup, 2,100 runs in 37 innings at an average of 58.33. Laura Wolvaardt, and of course she is the highest run getter, with 8 centuries and I think 650s or something, or 950, something of that sort. With Laura Wolvaardt, she's the second highest run getter again from the last World Cup till the beginning of this World Cup, with 1,736 runs in 36 innings at the average of 56. Um, Fantastic numbers.
Absolutely. I think for both the players, and both are very crucial players for their respective teams. And I think we don't want to talk about more about Laura Wolvaardt, right? I think classy batter and a leader. I will say, likes to lead from the front, scoring runs and all. And again, just like Pratika Rawal and Smriti Mandhana's partnership for South Africa, it's the Tasmin Prince and Laura Wolvaart's partnership. It set the tone for them, and that helped the following batters. Because if you see for India, you have Halim, Jemima, Harman, Richa, and then for South Africa, you have Madison Camp. You have Sunil, who experience. You have, if you play any direction, Aneke Kosh is there. So players are there, but if they are openers, for South Africa it's Prince and Wolvaardt, and for India it's Pratika and Smriti. If they set up the stage, I think that helps all the players, who comes to that down the order. So that is the part. But again, it has been a poor start for both the openers. For India, it's Smriti Mandhana, and for South Africa, Laura Wolvaardt. I think this is the game that they will look to, come back strong. Uh, because in the long run, you want this player to click. Otherwise, it will be difficult to win a tournament like World Cup, right? In a bilateral series, it happens. 1 or 2 matches, 3 matches, a player doesn't perform. Still, your team can come out, because of 2 or 3 individual performances and win the series. But when you are playing in a World Cup, in a tournament like this, where all teams are pretty much equal, then 1 or 2 individual performances will not win you the cup, right? It can win you 1 or 2 games here and there in that situation, but as a team, all the players need to step up, and that starts with your opener. So for both Mandhana and for Wolvaardt, I think this might be the game that they're looking forward eagerly to perform. So let's see. But as you said, both are classy batters. Both the numbers are listed, and they have been pretty consistent, since that last ODI World Cup. So high expectation was there, but it has been a poster. So let's see what happens in this game.
See, one thing is, first that it happens if you are, but you can see a recurring problem as far as both the batters are concerned. Uh, Both have an issue with the ball nipping back towards them. Also, the ball going out, if I think driving early on in the innings is becoming a bit of a problem, which is their, I wouldn't say go-to shot, but both of them are very good drivers of the ball. So, in spite of that, that shot is becoming a problem. But more than that, it's the ball nipping back, which is creating havoc for them. Laura Wolvaardt completely missed the ball from Jeskar, and Smriti also against Fatima Sana. That middle leg line, that channel, I think actually Australian bowlers had began that channel. Yes, they were not really successful in stopping the run flow, but I think that has got a lot to do with the fact that Alisa Healy is not a great captain, so she did not have the right feeds. Um, but yeah, I think both Sri Lanka and Pakistan have observed and has kept great fields for Smriti as well. The deep point fielder becomes extremely important early on with Smriti Mandhana on strike. So there are a few recurring problems. One is the swing, especially the in swing for both the batters, and for Smriti especially, just cutting off boundaries in the first 10, 12, 15 balls is becoming a bit of a problem.
Yes, absolutely. I think all the teams have understood, be it Wolvaardt or Smriti, I think, as you mentioned, we don't give that much of room so much
Yes.
early into their innings, right? You know, ask them hard questions initial stage, and if they are capable enough, score runs from that situation only. And then, if they manage, ultimately they will end up scoring 100 or 120.
Yes.
But that capability is there, for both these batters. But you have to work hard. I think that is the hard question that is being asked by the opposition right now, and that is the challenge that they have. And now it is between only India and South Africa. Like,
Yeah.
right now, all the other teams were asking again the questions to them. Now it is between them only. So let's
So
see.
they will ask questions to each other.
Each other. So now it will be interesting to see how they will come up with each other. The plans will be there or not, because ultimately they will need to understand that, okay, this thing happening to us, now we have to implement the same thing against each other. So let's see. But as you mentioned, that all the opposition have come out with this idea that at the initial stage we have to come up with a field restriction that will not give those easy singles or two, that that will give that confidence to her, that okay, my innings has started, now I can build up from that, or the boundaries that helps to maintain the strike rate. So ultimately you are drying up the boundaries, you are not giving those singles, the striker is looking good and she is going for the quick shot to release that pressure, and ultimately she is paying the price. And that is happening with Smriti Mandhana. For Laura Wolvaardt, I think she has not got out two big shots, but I think, as you mentioned, not getting clueless against in swinging deliveries. I think that has been a problem, and that is not new problem for Laura Wolvaardt. I think this has been a problem, but still you come up with those kind of numbers because not every bowler is capable of delivering
Yeah, of
their
course.
such deliveries in every matches. So that is also a part, but still I think some limitations are there. In recent times, opposition teams have come up with such plans. So it will be interesting to see how India and South Africa against each other, how beautifully can they come up into.
Of course. And if I talk separately about battles against these batters, by the way, I can see a lot of comments. We will take comments one by one. Let's just finish this part, the battles to watch out for against this batters, and then we will start taking comments, of course. So the biggest battle, of course, will be, as far as Smriti is concerned, Smriti's biggest battle will be against the swing of Marizanne Cap early on in the innings. Um, and Laura Woolward's biggest battle, I feel, would be against Kranti Gaur at the beginning of the innings.
Yes, absolutely. And as you mentioned, that swing is the problem, right? So Madison kept and the pace at this age she was bowling at 110,
113, yes. And in the first over of the first ball of the New Zealand match, she captured Susie Betts. If she can get that line right to Smriti Mandhana from ball one, we saw Smriti struggling against Renuka yesterday. She was bowled to an incoming ball which she was trying to glance, and
she one aged also.
she aged, in fact, not one, I think she aged two. So yeah, Renuka was troubling her a little, and that's why she started stepping out to Renuka and hitting, which is all fine in the nets. But in the Pakistan match, at least, we did not see her stepping out. In the Sri Lanka match, we did see her step out once, I think, or twice in two balls. But yeah, mostly she has not been in the greatest shape as such. So that would be the battles to watch out for. Let's have some comments. Any chances of rain? It's raining. Right now, it's raining, and yes, there are chances of rain. But the good part is that, my God, I don't know if you guys can hear the thunder here. But yes, there are chances of rain, but I don't think there are chances of the match being a complete washout. That's not happening, and let's hope that does not happen, because you cannot take 1 point from this game. Yes, you can see in the positive light that one instead of a possible zero as well, but I would say two is what you're aiming at, right? Shoaib Hussain, will you do the England team SWOT analysis or not? We have not done the SWOT analysis of the England team. So sorry, we got into the game. No, I don't think right now we will do any SWOT analysis, of course, but we will be talking about the England team. We will be building up to the England team once we are in indoor, because it will be all about India versus England. Shivraj Kale. हर रोज लाइव आने का टाइम बताओ। अरे ये ऐसा कोई टाइम है नहीं, 12 बजे एक वीडियो रहता है हमारा, 12 बजे तो हम आते हैं। बाकी ना एक्चुअली शिवराज जी क्या है कि डिपेंड करता है कि प्रैक्टिस कब है, प्रैक्टिस के बाद हम कब आ पाते हैं। लाइक कल थोड़ा एक्सटेंडेड प्रैक्टिस सेशन था इंडिया का, तो हमारा वैसे तो प्लान था कि 8, साढ़े 8 या 9 बजे तक आपके पास वीडियो पहुंच जाए, बट वो हो नहीं पाया। तो बहुत ज़्यादा प्लान नहीं हो पा रहा है लाइव। हाँ, आप मैच के डेज में देख सकते हो। आई थिंक हम लोग 1:30 बजे लाइव जाएंगे, 2:30 बजे तक लाइव करेंगे, फिर हमें भी चल के बहुत दूर जाना पड़ता है मैच के लिए। पर ऑस्ट्रेलिया मैच में मैं पहले ही बता देती हूँ कि हम 1 बजे से 2 बजे तक लाइव करेंगे, कोई 1:30 बजे लाइव नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि स्टैंड एंगल होगा और वो मुझे दिखना है। आप इनको रख सकते हो। प्रिंस ऑफ वर्ल्ड, आफ्टर सो मेनी डेज मिस्ड लाइव चैट। हाँ, वो वो कोऑर्डिनेट नहीं हो पा रहा था। वी वर वर्किंग लेट, सो वेकिंग अप अर्ली, ये सब हो रहा है। ऑन ऑफ, हेलो देयर, हेलो, इज इट मी यू आर लुकिंग फॉर? SRH, Pratika Rawal, Smriti Mandhana, Harlinder, Jemimah Rodriguez, Harmanpreet Kaur, Deepti Sharma, Richa Ghosh, Amanjot Kaur, Sneh Rana, Sri Charani, Kranti Kaur, Renuka Singh Thakur. Correct. That should be the playing 11. You have to play 6 bowlers. But what is your basis of dumping Harleen or Jemmy? You know, that is something that you also have to ask, especially because your batters have not done well enough. So will you actually risk going in with 5 batters is something you have to think. Deepak, guys, they are not taking comment anyway. तो stock market कहाँ पहुँचा? दीपक खुद ही निफ्टी 26,000 क्रॉस कर गई क्या? निफ्टी रिटर्न कब देगा? ये सब क्या सवाल है दीपक? हमने कहा ना, देखिए हम आज से बोल देते हैं, आप ये दिमाग में रखिए, अगर हम लाइव है तो पहले 15 मिनट हम थोड़ा बात करेंगे, हमें जो भी पॉइंट्स आपके साथ शेयर करने हैं, फिर उसके बाद सारे कमेंट्स लेते हैं यार, हम लाइव में सारे कमेंट्स लेते हैं। प्रिंस ऑफ वर्ल्ड थंबनेल, अच्छा थंबनेल बहुत अच्छा बना है। पूजा, वेल डन। On of women team not play up to the mark.
Women team
Not play up to the mark.
Yes, absolutely. I think the way 2 games have gone, we have talked about this several times already, that a lot of questions are there. You expect in a World Cup tournament after 2 games you have more answers than questions. But
Yeah.
with this team right now, there are a lot of questions rather than answers. But it was so good to see. I think you guys have watched the show that we did after the practice of yesterday, that Richa Ghosh, who had a bad game behind the stumps, was seen having special wicket keeping drills, and also it is good to see that team management have acknowledged that mistakes have happened and they're trying to rectify that. So that is what you need. That is what you want to see from the team, that they are trying hard to to remove those mistakes and to avoid those mistakes in the upcoming games. So let's see how she does. But I think all eyes will be on the batters. I think, as I mentioned in an earlier show, that before the World Cup, the only strength that we're talking about our team, that batting is our strength. Batting is our strength. Till 7, 8 we have batters, and we can score those 280, 290, 300 plus targets. But in both matches, I think we didn't bat good at all.
And especially Pakistan bowling unit isn't that great. I think the way Bangladesh has bowled against England yesterday, scared for that match as well. Prince of World, will Harman and Jemmy join today practice session? Don't think Harman will see Harman. I genuinely don't think Harman will see Jemmy. As I said, if Jemmy does not come today, then I think we will be making the assumption that Jemmy is not going to play tomorrow. Otherwise, knowing Jemmy and knowing the kind of, Jemmy is a lot like Smriti that way. She will practice ideally before the match. 1 day rest, understandable, but if she's well, she'll be there very soon. In about 3 hours time, very soon, in 3 hours time, we will let you know. दीपक, सेंसेक्स बढ़ेगा? आई होप बढ़े। आई होप आप लोग सब इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, और आप इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो। ये मेरा ऑफिस में वैसे मोटो रहता है, मैं सबको पुश करती हूँ इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए, तो आप लोग भी इन्वेस्ट करिए। आई एम श्योर सेंसेक्स बढ़ेगा। मनोज फुलारा, स्मृति नो एक्सपेक्टेशन। Smriti has no expectation from you, or you have no expectation from Smriti. But why? I mean, Smriti has performed. देखिए, 2 मैचेस से किसी प्लेयर का कोई भी you can't say that Smriti has become a bad batter all of a sudden. हो जाता है कभी कभी इधर उधर, you know. Money. Excited to see the great Mithali Raj stand. She deserves this honors. Yes, we are excited as well. Babu Shonade, any chances of six bowlers? Think against teams like, against a Sena country, I do think that India would want to play six bowlers, but how will they accommodate the combination? How will they change the combination? Will Hurley in play or will Jemima sit out? See, Hurley did have a long net session yesterday, so it does not seem like Hurley is going to sit out, even catching at slips, correct? So it doesn't seem like Hurley will be the one sitting out. Maybe Jemmy then. Satvik Bagadia, former England cricketer and captain Michael Atherton has said that after so many drama and politics, Pakistan and India should not be in the same group in ICC events. Your views?
Yes, if ICC thinks so, then do it. India has no problem with anything. If Pakistan is in the same group or not, India doesn't have a problem because in terms of quality of cricket, India is much more superior. One bad day might happen, India might lose. It can happen with any team, but that will be the one day.
Yeah.
In the remaining 9 days out of 10, India will win definitely. So there is, if that is completely his view, Michael Atherton's views. Yeah, but if ICC thinks so, that okay. See, ultimately ICC also thinks about the representation, right? So at least they will love to see one match.
Yeah.
But the sad part is even if we're putting India and Pakistan in the same group right now, even people are not showing that much of interest, because the rivalry is not there.
Exactly, the rivalry is not there. शिवराज खाने रविचंद्रन अश्विन तमिल और हिंदी में भी शो करता है. रेड स्पोर्ट्स टीम वुमेन क्रिकेट के लिए हिंदी में शो कर सकती है. हम सर इंग्लिश में बंगाली में कर तो रहे हैं. आई डोंट थिंक आप लोगों को लैंग्वेज लेके इतना ज्यादा बॉदर्ड होना चाहिए सर. हिंदी हो, इंग्लिश हो, बंगाली हो, बात कंटेंट की है. बंगाली खैर मैं साइड रखती हूँ क्योंकि बहुत लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता, लेकिन ऐसा तो नहीं है शिवराज जी दैट यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड इंग्लिश. So let's not get this regionalism and language issues into sports content. हमें sports को थोड़ा सा pure रखने दीजिए जितना हम रख सकते हैं. तो इसीलिए आप आते हैं हमारे शो में, आप जब भी हिंदी में सवाल पूछते हैं हम हिंदी में जवाब देते हैं, वो कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है. Let's not classify this as Hindi show, English show or anything of that sort, please sir. The entire country is fighting this burning issue of local language and language. Don't bring this into sports, please. I request you. Prince of World, I think Indian team will go with 6 bowlers. That means Jemmy will miss out. She scored century against SA. That's the question. Does Jemmy miss out or does Hurley miss out? Because if you genuinely ask me, Prince of World, the problem is while Hurley has not converted the runs, but she has been one of your most consistent batters. So how can you drop her? Why exactly will you drop her? If you talk about strike rate, then she recovers her strike rate. It's not like she isn't. So you basically cannot drop her without leaving a bad taste in among the team members. Then you talk about Jemmy. I think Jemmy is one of the most important cogs in that number 5 role. Since Jemmy was unwell, that was possible in the Australia series. I'm not 100% sure if she's fit. How can you drop her? So it's a big question mark. Again, maybe today's practice will be an answer to that. SRH is saying SA top 4 is good. Only top 4?
See, I think South Africa has a decent team, but you have to see the bowling unit, right? Because if you see only Mazen Cap, and in the spin there are only Malaka. Apart from that, there are bowlers, but they were pretty inconsistent.
Right.
Throughout the match, you can see over by over. We are watching the last match also. 4 good balls, 2 bad balls, and they are releasing the pressure.
Right.
But on one end, Cap will do her job. On one end, Malaba will do her job. There's Malaba took I think 4 wickets right in the last game. But the support should be there. I think the support is kind of lacking in that bowling unit. So that might get tricky for them in top games like India, Australia, and against England. See what happens, right? So yeah. But again, you might say against New Zealand they were so good.
Yeah.
Yes, but you have to see that New Zealand also is not that a typical tough opposition in terms of batting because there are also only 2 batters, right? Amelia Kane and captain. So pretty well scored a runs. Amelia can also got start convert, but otherwise there are no batters. Suzy Bates is completely out of form.
Yeah.
Not only now, it's I think for the last three years.
Yeah, the other batters can chip in with 30s. It's not like they're going to go and get 100 probably.
Exactly. And in terms of bowling also for New Zealand, it's only Amelia K, Erin Carson. But Erin Carson is not having that type of very good tournament as of now.
Yeah.
So because I understand because T20 format and 50 format is completely different.
Yeah.
And it's our fast 50 over format. Yeah. And you need that patience. You have to wait for that moment to take that wicket. It's not easy. So I think it's okay that they are coming with a huge victory over New Zealand. They recovered their net run rate a lot of what they suffered against England. But still, I think against India, the only concern for South Africa will be their bowling. I think if Madison Cap, see, one bowler might have a bad day, right? And it happens. If Madison, one of them, if Madison Cap or Malabar had a bad day,
Madison Cap doesn't have that.
so only Malabar only has. Yes. So if Malabar has an off day, I think then it will be very difficult for them to compete.
Absolutely. Prince of World, we can't take light Bangladesh the way they played yesterday. Mind blowing, didn't expect from them.
I think
You guys didn't expect, we had expected.
and we are
Yeah, we were continuously saying this. Money, if Derrickson comes in place of Masabata class, then SA even more dangerous team. But Money, I don't think that Derrickson should come in place of Masabata class. I think Derrickson should come in place of Anneke Bosch. Anneke Bosch at number 5 is a waste.
Anneke was your top order batter. She should bat within 3, if not within 4. That, not lower than that, right? So I don't know. I think South Africa wants to strengthen their batting unit, and that is why they are a pure batter like Anneke was at number 5. But I think they are missing that X factor in this World Cup. Any direction can be that X factor. That
Yes.
with the ball, with the bat, especially with the bat, and in the field also. I think she has all 3 departments. She can excel, and that can help the team. So let's see against India whether she gets a game because in 2 games the way she has missed the playing 11, it has surprised both me and Tushar.
Exactly. And I don't know why it's always happens with Jimmy. She has proved herself every time. Just sad. Um, yeah, I mean, it will be extremely unfair on Jimmy if she's dropped. If I'm being very honest. Rajuri Dikshita, so unfair on Jimmy. Agreed. Deepak, Jimmy is given credit more than she has done. Start watching women's cricket. Prince of World. Indian teams should have batting depth, especially when they're playing against Sena countries. But they should have bowling depth also, na? Batting depth भी चाहिए, bowling depth भी चाहिए. और वहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि because Amanjot is not really your wicket-taking option. She's more like a Nadine Lee Clark containment option for you. So you can't have her with the new ball. And if you can't have her with the new ball, then you cannot fit in that extra batter or that extra bowler without dropping a Harleen or Jemmy. Sorry, India has won last 5 matches against South Africa.
Yes, I think against South Africa, I think that is the positive mindset that India will look forward to take on. Because if you remember, as we were discussing in the earlier video, that when South Africa took India, India did well, played good quality of cricket, batters scored run, bowlers took wickets and all. I think that things you need to take care of, and the performance that you did, and you have to go through that series. You have to see what was the technique that worked for us, what was the combination that worked for us, and what was the role of the batter, what was the role of the bowler that worked for us. So I think these things need to be recollected, these things need to be counted, and then I think Team India should go with a positive mindset. Okay, against this team we have did well in home conditions, and right now it's another match. It's just different that it was a bilateral space and it's a World Cup game. It is just that's different, but I think as you mentioned, the record is good, and hopefully they will look to add one more win to this one.
Manikandan, what about Heather Knight yesterday? 15 from 50 ball. Very strike rate is 5 World Cup experience. Players struggling to rotate strike. What are your thoughts? No. My thoughts are that you have not understood the game at all. The point is, Manikandan, actually, England had a super bad start. And you have to understand, England was not chasing 278. They were chasing 178. So she was pacing her innings. It is very different from when a batter gets stuck. She was not stuck. She knew with the kind of bowling happening and with the kind of with the way England were batting, continuously losing wickets, she needed to stay there. The important part, yes, she got a lot of chances. In fact, she herself has said that, I thought the catch was taken, she was walking off actually. But all this is part and parcel of the game. Unfortunately, crying over spilt milk does not help. The truth of the story is, whatever, after giving chances, getting chances, that in a lot of Smriti Mandhana hundreds, she has been dropped thrice or 4 times. Amanjot Kaur, she was dropped thrice. So you don't want to count that 50? No, right? She has finished the match for England. Sidra scored after 5 drops. So you don't want to count those runs. That does not happen. That's not how things work, right? In the scoreboard. So while yes, Heather Knight started slowly, but that was because your two openers were taken out so cheaply that Heather Knight and Natsimer Brunt had to rebuild. Natsimer Brunt played a quick fire 30 and then she got out. So you have to stay there, and suddenly they were, I think, 94 or something for 6. So what, Heather Knight will go try to hit and get out 94, 96 for 7, and then who will chase? So you have to understand the context before talking about strike rate. My biggest problem is when we talk about a few keywords. We just know a few keywords without watching the match, without getting the context. We start talking about that. Strike rate is spoken about without even thinking that in 300 balls they had to make 178. She could have slept and scored those runs. But the important part is the number of wickets falling at that end. She had to bat with Charlie Dean to finish the match. So the Bangladesh had taken the match extremely deep. So you have to understand the context before just simply pointing something out. Prince of wait. Pooja Gupta, nice question. Why do you think the top order of all the teams have struggled?
Yes, very good observation, because I think Alice Haley has struggled, and then in England also we saw. I think somehow, do you think, Trishati, that the batters are not judging the swing and all because they want?
Yeah, I think everybody expected speed.
Yeah.
Because of Indian wickets, they expected either it to be completely batting friendly or spin. The swing has surprised everybody. राम धनुष, यार ये बताओ हर्ली, ये मुझे अच्छा लगा आपने जैसे सवाल पूछा ना, ये अपना सा फीलिंग आता है यार। ये बताओ हर्ली की जगह अमनजोत क्यों नहीं आ सकती है 1 डाउन? आई डोंट नो इफ अमनजोत इज अ 1 डाउन बैटर। राम धनुष, ये थोड़ा सा मुझे लगता है टेक्निकली अमनजोत उतना साउंड नहीं है।
नंबर 3 इज टेक्निकली बैटर।
अगर हर्लिन को आप ड्रॉप करते हो तो आपका ऑप्शन सिर्फ जेमी है, फिर आप 5 पे अमनजोत को खिलाओ। Money, why did Julian Goswami attend the World Cup opening ceremony honoring former Indian women's cricket team captain? सच में नहीं पता। ये जब बंगाल वापस जाएंगे, झूलन दी से कभी भी मिलेंगे, तो मेरा सबसे पहला सवाल मनी, आई प्रॉमिस विल बी दिस, बिकॉज मैं तब से पूछे जा रही हूँ कि भाई उस दिन भी हम लोग पूछ रहे थे कि झूलंदी कहाँ है, झूलंदी कहाँ है, हमें झूलंदी नहीं दिखी। इनफैक्ट लेट मी टेल यू समथिंग, फॉर्मर क्रिकेटर्स हैव asked and former cricketers have had this discussion, why has Jhulandi not come? So I think Jhulandi has surprised all of us, but कोई तो reason, अच्छा सा कुछ तो reason रहा होगा। The moment Mani, I promise, we meet Jhulandi, we'll ask her what happened and then we will reveal the reason. Shirish, please confirm if Harleen will be replaced by Aman. I am confirming, Shirish, that Harleen is not going to be replaced by Aman. Sharanya Haldar, your prediction for tomorrow's match, India or South Africa? I will go with South Africa. He will go with India, and both of us will go with Rain. Ram Dhanush, Jemmy is India's second best batter. Harleen or Pratika will not work against big teams. Jemmy or Amanjot have the dog in them to win games against big teams. Replace either Pratika or Harleen. You can't replace Pratika. Pratika is your only opener, and opening is a very, very special, specialist role. So Hurley is the more replaceable one, but I don't see that happening because she's your only consistent batter right now in the World Cup. Shreyas Jain, women's cricket feels like watching cricket on 0.25x. आप मत देखो, आपको कोई फोर्स तो नहीं कर रहा है. आपके देखने से पूरा इंडस्ट्री नहीं एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है. ये इंडस्ट्री अकेले एग्जिस्ट कर सकता है. तो ये सब स्टूपिड कमेंट देगा और विमेंस क्रिकेट के बारे में स्टूपिड कमेंट देगा तो बिल्कुल भी मत आया करो व्हेन आई एम ऑन शो. बिकॉज ये बहुत ही सारा मिसोजिनी की स्मेल आ रही है, बदबू आ रही है और जो एकदम ही नहीं जानते हैं स्पोर्ट के बारे में उस चीज की बदबू आ रही है आपसे, तो आप तो दूर ही रहिए सर. आप जितना दूर रहोगे ना विमेंस क्रिकेट के लिए उतना अच्छा है. विमेंस क्रिकेट को आप जैसे लोग बिल्कुल नहीं चाहिए. Pooja Gupta read an article that the Raj stand was finalist. It was obviously due to be made after Smriti's apple. Also, do you think the big three right now, Harman, Smriti, and Jemmy, should be more vocal about their right? Pooja Gupta, पहले मैं थोड़ा I'll correct you. So, Mithali Raj stand was not because of Smriti Mandhana. Mithali Raj stand was the proposal was completely ready. Andhra Cricket Association was waiting for their annual general meeting to pass, to get it passed. But the Mithali Raj stand was not because of what Smriti Mandhana and I think the CM's son spoke about. In the event, the CM's son asked Smriti Mandhana about what more can be done. Then she came up with a suggestion that more should be done about women's sports in general. More honor should be given. That is when Ravi Kalpana Gate was decided. That is also because look, Mithali Raj is not from Andhra. She has played for Andhra now. She is there in Andhra, but she stays in Hyderabad, so she is from Hyderabad. Of course, with players like I think two Indian women cricketers with whom you cannot associate their states absolutely is Mithali Raj and Jhulan Goswami. They are national treasures. They are not Andhra's treasures or Hyderabad's treasures. So you can have a Mithali Raj stand even in Eden Gardens. You can have a Mithali Raj stand in any ground of this. And same goes for Jhulan Goswami as well. You can have, as I said, they're national treasures, and you can have their stand everywhere. So just correcting, not taking anything out, any credit of Smriti, but the truth is the Mithali Raj stand the proposal was ready. The AGM was being waited for to get the proposal acknowledged. The art Kalpana Gate is definitely happening because of what Smriti Mandhana spoke to the I don't remember the name, but yeah, what she spoke about. Also, yes, of course, Harman, Smriti, and Jemima should be more vocal. I think they are more vocal in their own. They are vocal in their own ways. You and I don't attend every single event that they attend, so I'm quite sure they're vocal in their own ways. And I think their performances also need to speak. But also, think of this: every time we come for lives, you will get at least 2-3 people randomly commenting on women's cricket. Today only, just 5 seconds back, I was, telling someone off because somebody has written something extremely stupid about women's cricket. The problem is in the mindset. The problem is in the internalized misogyny of men, women alike in our country. This country is misogynistic, unfortunately. So for women's sport to go ahead, for women to go ahead, the mindset needs to change for both men and women. It's not like patriarchy or misogyny runs in men alone. So till that happens, I don't think that, it's almost like Smriti, Jemmy, Harman, Mithali, Jhulan continuously speaking about this is almost speaking to a wall if we don't want to change our mindset. So it is on each one of us to change the mindset. Okay, money. Last 2 matches, Harleen and Pratika played a perfect test match innings together. So Harleen out, Amanjyoti, that's the perfect 11. Jamie and Fat is very crucial for us. So I don't think Jamie dropped. It's exactly how I think we also think.
Yes. But the way we saw yesterday in the practice session, the way Harleen practiced with the bat and then the slips also, I think it is difficult. It will be surprising for us to see after the practice that she is not playing. So that is why we think that maybe if in India take a huge call, shocking call, then it might be regarding Jamie as otherwise I think both Jamie and Harley.
Janish Jain has asked a very good question. Why Indian players throwing their starts?
I think what I would say. I think this player. I think in both the matches, I think they have failed to judge the wicket because I think what they thought, okay, let's have a conservative start, wait for the moment, and then we'll pick up, and then we'll manage to reach that total that we're targeting. But unfortunately, on a few occasions, they are throwing wickets. But the problem is that you are not getting out on some deliveries that is fantastic ones. You are gifting the wickets. That is the problem. I have no problem that you are having a slow start. If you are recovering it game by game, I have no problem. That might be your pattern. Prime example, Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli also starts slow, right? But over the years, he has done and he has proved everyone wrong that this is my pattern. I will play according to it and I will score and win matches for India. And he has done it. He has nothing to prove right now. So for this place also, I think okay, they can play with the template that I might take some time in the earlier stage of my innings. 50 overs game this is, we can make up this and we can score those runs what we are targeting. But if you throw your wickets away, for example, Richard Bush, the Australia series has happened again and again. She scored those 20, 25, loose shot, and it was Shiva again. And in this match also, if you see 40, Halil, she has been a consistent batter scoring 40s, 35, 45 and all. You think, okay, this might be the day where Halil will score those
100,
or maybe 100. Yes. But again, on 46, on 48, she's getting it. And it was a very loose shot against Pakistan yesterday. Because
not yesterday, day before yesterday.
Yeah, day before. Yes. So that is one thing. I think they are gifting the wickets more than they are taking the wickets. They are crumbling under pressure when they are coming up with a speed restriction and they are creating the pressure. I think that this is the crucial moment that you have to do. And if you start to win these wickets, you will can come out with victorious against top teams and do well in the world.
Absolutely. Prince of World Trishadi, as you're saying tomorrow, prediction is heart says India, but mind says SAS. Shirish, considering the lack of strike rotation and famine of singles, I love the way you've written famine of singles by even proper batters. Do you think we need better coaching and coaches at grassroots levels? Why even the young guns can't find singles? Absolutely. I not only think that we need better coaches at the grassroots levels. I think what we actually need is better methods and processes at the grassroots levels, better camps concentrating on particular skills, fielding camp separate, batting camp separate, bowling camp separate. In fact, get a rotating the strike camp separate. Gaps should be over and over. And yesterday also when we were seeing Indian practice, my only complaint to him, and I was cribbing about this, that you can see that these girls are hitting beautifully, and that is happening in the match also, but straight to the fielders. And you cannot see them practicing with basic, and it's a very basic thing. Put cones as fielders, try and hit between them. Conventional fielders, unconventional fielders. And I'm sure the coaches, of course, with the Indian team has so many coaches that they know much better than what I do, but I think the method needs an overhaul more than anything else. Shirish, this is a very good question. Is South Africa the most improved team in women's cricket in the last 2-3 years?
I think you can say most consistent team. Yes, yeah, consistent team of course, because if you see in the T20 format, 2 finals, if you are playing 2 finals of consecutive 2 World Cups, I think you have to say that they have improved a lot and they have been pretty consistent. Even in ODIs, yeah, they have done well, but I think in ODIs there is still a lot of things that they would like to improve, especially with their inconsistent bowling unit right now, because they have not found a replacement or supplementation.
Yes.
Because they are still looking for that. Because Mason Cap is clearly lacking that partner that will help her to keep up that pressure going under that 10, 11, 12 overs. And that will create problem to the opposition batters. And same for Malabar. Only Malabar is your wicket taking spin bowling option. Apart from the options are there like Chloe Tran, Mian Smith, a very young option. Chloe Tran she doesn't speed that much, right? So yeah, Masabata class also. Narendra class. All these are not wicket taking options. They can create the pressure, but we take the wickets. Ultimately, you have to take the wickets to stop your opposition from scoring your strike.
Actually, Shirish, I'll tell you what. I think this can be answered in one line. I think South Africa in the last 2-3 years is the most improved batting unit. That's why, if you actually see, they have won a lot of matches, but they are not winning tournaments because of the bowling issue. Rajiv Thakre, hey guys, Rajiv Thakre is saying confirmed reports after Asia Cup and Pak women failures. PCB appoints a new head coach, Rosemary Marva Hilo. I have no idea. Let's talk about this after the World Cup. Right now, nobody is changing coaches. Shirish, if India was in a position that England was yesterday, would we have won the match? No. I think not. Yes, when we get that confidence, then we can say that India is close to World Cup winning. I absolutely agree with you. Abhishek, you said only 5 batter in 6th bowling combination, but Deepti Amanjot are like the perfect batter. They are not like the perfect batter. No, they are all rounders. Perfect batter is very different. They can bat. Of course, they can bat. There is no doubt about that. Aryan, I think Australia lost momentum. They also lost 1 point against Sri Lanka. They are not qualifying for semis. India has very good chance of winning home World Cup. Let's hope so. होप पे तो दुनिया कायम है. दीपक, आपको जेमी ने ऑटोग्राफ नहीं दिया था कि फोटोग्राफ नहीं दिया था, इसीलिए इतना नफरत दिल में पाल के रखे हो. ओ जी सुनो जी, ये तो बढ़िया. दिस इज द बेस्ट हैंडल नेम. ओ जी सुनो जी, सुन रहे. अग्री, अमनजोत इज नॉट वन डाउन बैटर, बट यू विल नीड टू कैच ऑस्टिन्स ऑफ गार्ड. ऑस्टिन्स, Aussie team or what? I don't know. Attacking option at 3, 5, 6, 7 batting position will be better. Hurling will invite pressure from Australia. Agreed. Jainesh Jain. Trishadi, one question. In one day, why we don't play leg spinner, 2 off spinner in one day and not wicket takers in middle overs? If I knew the answer to that question, Jainesh, I would have given it to you. Money, please do an interview with Julian Goswami. I'm a huge fan of her. After the World Cup, I will definitely take Srinidhi. I don't know if she is free. We can maybe get her. Prince of World, please explain technically Jamie's dive in last match.
Okay, Sidra Nawaz missed the chance, then she dived to save her.
Oh, I think Jamie is fantastic when it comes to. She's super flexible. If you have seen her, getting back for those stampings with full stretch, I think what she did, what she did well was when she realized that the throw is already done. That is the moment she dived, so that see, when you dive and when you are handling, like when you are holding the bat at the top of the handle, so basically the distance you get is your entire height plus the entire bat. That's how good Jamie's calculation was. And with Jamie's height, I think if you are 3/4 into that 22 yards, you dive from there, you will be in. Okay. Okay. Ramdhanush said, when I said Jamie or Amanjot have the dog in them, I meant an indomitable spirit. I completely agree with you. Amanjot, Ramdhanush says, Amanjot at 3, I think, is going against the traditional route, which I think will be necessary against Australia after no Shafali Verma. I completely agree with you. Okay, Shirish. Trishadi, why are some things about women's cricket different from men's cricket? Like 25-yard boundary, general boundary lengths, last power play rules, ball weight, etc. Because physiologically, men and women are different, no, Shirish? While I'm not saying that means that we cannot hit 65, 70, even 75 meter 6, but in general, you're not going to hit 100 meter 6. Nowadays, even boundaries are shorter for men's field also. But the weight of the ball, I think, is another example. In fact, one day Deepda Gupta and I were chatting, and Deepda was saying that, I think even the size of the ball should be a little less, because a lot of women cricketers, because in general, for example, I'll explain something technically. This is statistically known that a lot of women, average women height, women I'm saying in general, the average height is 5'3", 5'4" of subcontinent especially. So if for example, a Poonam Yadav, the cricket ball was bigger than Poonam Yadav's hand in itself. Then holding the ball, turning it, and getting your desired result becomes a problem. So weight of the ball is also because of that particular thing where the physiological differences are the main reason for this, nothing else. Okay. Prince of World. In last match after Smriti's dismissal, I could see test match, but after Jemmy came to bat, it's turned she ensured keeping high running because she runs superbly between the wicket, between the well. Shirish, and how do they affect run scoring? Will the same rules as men's help? No, there's nothing. Shirish, if you want to actually enjoy both cricket, treat men's cricket and women's cricket as completely different sport. There's a lot of commonality in it, but they're completely different sport. And it goes same for men's boxing, women's boxing, for for most of the things I would say. Until and unless it's athletics. I think athletics is pretty on the similar level, but in general, other sport, I think men's sport and women's sport are different sports. Ariel, Trishadi, today in morning, I was thinking what an indefinite aura Meg Lanning has becoming captain at an early age, winning 5 World Cup and retiring at a young opportunity. It's possible, Ariel, if you are an Australian cricketer, because you have so many cricketers up and down, and you don't miss Meg Lanning in this Australian lineup. You still miss Mithali Raj at the number, in the Indian lineup. So that is the difference. I think the grassroots level supply of players is a lot more when it comes to Australia. Kavya Jain is saying Deepthi is the most underrated cricketer.
Deepthi is the most underrated cricketer.
Is she underrated?
I will not say that underrated, but I think
I will put it on the fans actually. I'll tell you why. आप लोग दीप्ति को फॉलो नहीं करते, आप लोग दीप्ति को हाइप नहीं करते, वो आप लोग भी करते हैं। आप किसी भी जर्नलिस्ट, किसी भी एनालिस्ट, किसी भी फॉर्मर क्रिकेटर से पूछिए दीप्ति की, दीप्ति will be the first name they will read. In fact, I remember, I think I had seen a Mithali Raj ICC interview in which she had spoken about Deepthi at length.
which player will be the
game changer for India, and she had said Deepthi Sharma. And look at it, 2 games into the World Cup, and Deepthi Sharma has been one of the game changers. संदीप डोंगरवर स्नेक पर क्या अपडेट है? आई डोंट थिंक शी वाज फुल्ली फिट इन द सेकंड इनिंग्स. नो शी इज फिट. जो थोड़ा सा बॉलिंग में गड़बड़ हो रहा है. आई थिंक शी इज नॉट एबल टू लैंड द बॉल, बट ठीक हो जाएगा. Zero. Does the team management even know that Harleen and Pratika have strike rotation issue? Don't see them working on it. I agree. I don't see them working on it, to be honest. अगर हम सब देख रहे हैं कि इशू है, टीम मैनेजमेंट भी देख ही रहा होगा. Okay, Prince of World, waiting for your update from today's practice session. Please tell us some good news that Jemmy is fit to play tomorrow. As far as I know, Jemmy is fit.
Yeah, there's no. I don't think there's some fitness issue or something. I think it was just a rest from the second practice. But if today she doesn't come in the optional practice, then
it could mean a rest from the match. But I don't think that will happen. Jemmy is a very, very important player in the team, and everybody knows it. It will be unfair. It will be straight up unfair. Well, हम जब भी लाइव आते हैं, हम सारे कमेंट्स लेते हैं, और सारे कमेंट्स लेने के चक्कर में हम लोग 1-1 घंटा लाइव कर देते हैं. So we are 53 minutes into the live, 54 minutes in fact before the end. हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं बेस्ट कवरेज आप लोगों के लिए लाना. We are trying our level best in speaking in as many languages as you guys are asking us to, and possible for us. In fact, I remember yesterday, if you see our Bengali video, we were the last ones there. Even the team left. So we were recording our Bengali practice rap from behind the Indian team bus goes. And what was Harleen doing, Snehashish?
Harleen was like, ऐसे देख रहे हैं हम लोग. क्या कह रहे हो यार को? हम लोग भी निकल के आपके इधर बैठे.
I think अभी ना टीम के सब हमें पहचान चुके हैं इसके चक्कर में कि हम लोग जाते हैं टीम के साथ, कभी कभी टीम से पहले पहुंच जाते हैं और वहां पे खड़े ही रहते हैं, फिर टीम निकल जाते हैं, हम तभी भी शो ही कर रहे हैं, कुछ ना कुछ कर रहे हैं। तो वो तो है, और अपनी तो मस्ती चलती रहती है। आप लोग कभी अगर हमारी प्रैक्टिस है तो वहाँ पे नेट्स चल रहा है और हम इधर बैठे अपना ही खुद का ही चल रहा है मस्ती। कल तो आई मेट अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन हु इज वन ऑफ द कोचेस इन द ग्रासरूट लेवल्स ऑफ आंध्र क्रिकेट एसोसिएशन, कविता। I met Kavita after 12 years, but laga hi nahi ki 12 years, yeah. So I'll tell you why I met her, and with this we'll end. Okay, in 2013 I did my level A coaching course from the National Cricket Academy, and of course I think एक दो बार मैंने कहा भी है कि Nushin Lee was there, Neetu Lee was there, Neetu David, who of course was the chairperson of selectors, and I think one of the best spinners that India has ever produced. So Kavita was part of that level A course. तो 2013 में मिले थे, फिर 2025 में मिले हैं, and I think Instagram पे बहुत जल्द हम लोग फोटो भी डालेंगे, फोटो भी खींचा है आज सुबह, आज भी जाएंगे, आज भी खींचेंगे फोटो, आज भी मस्ती करेंगे और आप लोगों को सारे अपडेट्स के साथ वापस मिलेंगे। थोड़ा सा शाम होगा because I'll tell you why. India is practicing from 2 to 5 and South Africa is practicing from 6 to 9. तो 9 बजे तक तो नहीं होगा, बट एटलीस्ट 7-8 बज जाएंगे सारा रिपोर्ट मिलजुल के देने के लिए। यस, पीसी अपडेट्स एंड एवरीथिंग। सो शाम को रेड स्पोर्ट्स पे जरूर ट्यून इन करेंगे। उससे पहले 5 at 5 है, उससे पहले और भी वीडियोस है, तो कीप वॉचिंग रेड स्पोर्ट्स, लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब।